with Tanya and Claire. Oh my God, it's because I tried to... I've been looking at trying to find out how to be better at producing sound.
Right.
So I wanted to try and have a longer pause at the beginning to catch a longer sound snap,
right, okay,
to reduce the noise and the rest of it. But it's just...
That didn't work.
That's ridiculous.
Did it? Yeah. That was slightly odd. It was like, and I was just waiting. I'm like, Claire starts this. Am I meant to go? I don't want to go. It doesn't work when I go.
I totally should have prepared you.
That would have been nice. It's all right.
I should. Oh God! Right. Anyway, so
hi,
welcome back. Episode 21, and
God. Every time you say a number, it does baffle my brain. I'm like, really?
I know. Well, I actually wrote it down today, so I didn't have to sit here and go, ooh, what was it?
What was it?
Yeah.
Where was we?
Episode 21. So we're coming towards the end of season 2. And season 3 is going to be a bit different, isn't it?
That is the plan.
It is the plan.
That is the plan. It's going to be,
we want you to recommend any podcast hosts who you listen to that can bring a level of expertise towards us and bring something that we can...
Any expertise.
I don't think I said any, did I?
No, a level.
A level of expertise.
A level of expertise.
And add a different dynamic to our podcast and what we talk about. Because we want to try and bring in some subjects that, that we maybe don't know enough about and don't want to waffle on and talk shit for half an hour or an hour.
Yeah. No.
So let's get some people in to recommend.
So any recommendations of people that actually are achievable, not like Obama, because we're not there yet. Like, soon, but maybe not
Obama
for now.
and Springsteen, isn't it?
Yeah, not for this season.
Yeah.
Apparently it's a really good podcast as well. I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, no, I haven't either.
Catherine Tate's I listen to. Love her. She's just funny.
You could speak to her.
Yeah. Do you think she'd speak to us?
Why not?
Yeah.
It's always
Mine's really small.
It is quite small.
Okay. Sorry, I'm scared. I don't touch the computer, and the line looks small to me, so that frightens me.
It's all right. Don't worry. Just speak. Enunciate.
I don't enunciate. I really don't, unless I'm swearing. Then I enunciate. That's different.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I can enhance that. It's fine. Okay.
Cool.
So this week we are talking about balance, and the reason we're talking about balance is because I have had a very zen week. Yes. So I have had a week off writing, a week off the nursing home, a week off everything, housework.
Nice.
I don't do housework anyway. I get the kids to do it.
It's the best way. I wish mine did.
But I've just done stuff in the garden. I've decided that once I launched the book last week, I was going to have a week off writing, a week off promoting it, a week off doing anything about it. So I've literally just launched a book and then ran away from it.
Yeah, but I think that's nice though, to sort of, you put so much into it as well. And that's quite nice to sort of have that break away and just let it take its own course, I suppose.
It has been really, really lovely to not think about it at all. I'm just... At the beginning of May, I always get excited about our garden party for mine and Trevor's birthday. It's not Trevor's birthday, it's my birthday. But even if you just said yours and Trevor's birthday, it just doesn't roll off the tongue properly, does it?
Sorry, Trev, but no, Trev's there. So we couldn't have it without Trev, obviously.
No,
it's the life and
it's
soul.
It's our garden party. Because my birthday's the 23rd of May, Trevor's is the 30th, so in theory it's a joint thing. But it's all about me.
Yeah.
And every year since... It all started on my 30th birthday. That's when it all started. Because before I was never that fussed for celebrating our birthdays.
Okay.
And since my 30th, so I'll be 37 this year. So for 7 years, it's been
I missed the first one because I was on holiday.
Yeah.
But I have not. I
don't think I knew you when I turned 30.
You did, because I remember you saying that you was having a party, but I was going to, because that would have been 2015. I can't do maths. 2015? 2014. Yeah, and I went to Egypt. And I remember you saying, I'm having a party. And I was like, I'm not going to be here. And you weren't that fast.
Oh, that must have been right about the time that you invited me out for lunch. And I thought you were like...
See, just kept blowing me out. It was like, nah, not bothered. Didn't want to be my friend. But I begged and I begged and I begged. And eventually she let me in her ass. And it's all right now.
Oh dear. So around about this time in May, and that noise in the background is Trevor.
This is why it's
Do you know
your
what?
party.
A few moments before we started this podcast, Trevor was ambushing us with a bow and arrow
Yes,
on,
he was.
on the patio window. So,
Yes, he looked very pleased with himself.
do you know what's most annoying? Oh no, he has picked them up.
He did. He picked them up and put them back.
Oh, he put them back.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, because I just tidied them up today and put them down in the little holder.
See? Well done, Trev. No, I get very, I think all the girls get very excited about your birthday
Yeah, it's
every
the beginning
year.
of summer, isn't it? And
It
it's
is.
nice. It's a nice gathering. There's fire. There's lots of alcohol.
A lot of fire as well.
A lot of fire.
Yeah, you turn into a proper little fire hippie, dancing around the fire, throwing anything goes in the fire. No, you're like, "Ooh, don't put anything down, 'cause it's going in the fire."
I really shouldn't get drunk around the fire because I just get so fucking cocky around it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you do.
On Boxing Day, Trevor and I got very drunk in the garden with a fire, drinking red wine.
Oh dear.
Oh, to the point Trevor actually let me put aerosols on the fire in the garden. The kids were inside, it was fine. It was just me.
I'm glad you said that. We would have got some complaints. Claire's out in the garden with her kids, putting aerosol.
When I was little, obviously I grew up on a farm. So we had not an awful lot to do to entertain ourselves besides lighting fires and shit. So we used to, whenever we decided we were going to have like an afternoon bonfire, we would we'd go around and find a fiver, because it costs £5 to buy this thing I'm going to tell you about.
Right.
And between the three of us, Gregor I think would have probably been too little at the time, so between me, Sarah and Louise, we'd find a fiver. And then one of us would have to cycle to the village, to the top shop, so the furthest away shop, M&B stores, and buy a little blue camping gas stove.
Oh, okay.
And they were amazing on the fire. Oh, it was like a bomb going off. We had to run and hide behind the bales or something. It was fucking awesome. It was so good.
Your childhood sounds good and scary.
Do you know what? Dad would give us a pat on the back, say, "That's a good fire, girls." Like, he was so proud of our fire.
Oh wow!
Fire breathing skills.
That's nice.
Of all the things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where it all stems from. Just boredom as a kid and lighting fires.
See? Well.
But we've deviated away from...
That doesn't happen often.
Yeah. So we want to talk about balance and bringing balance and what you can do to make your life a bit more balanced. So I call it my balance checklist.
Yeah.
And it's been inspired by this week that I've had. That's where the story began.
Yes.
It's by saying that I've had a very balanced week this week.
And she looks you can't see her, but she looks very zen.
Yeah.
Very chill.
It has been lovely, just doing the things that make my heart sing, doing the things that are... Even down to eating 2 donuts yesterday morning.
Oh,
yeah, Dunkin' Donuts. Oh my God, they were amazing.
They're bloody expensive though. It makes me angry.
They were totally worth it.
Well, that's okay.
Totally worth it. So, what do you do? Like, do you have a regime that you follow? Like a little ritual that you do? No. You don't?
There is no balance.
No?
There is no balance. It is just... Even Sam commented yesterday, because he'd stayed away Monday, Tuesday, so it's first... What day is it? It's Thursday today. Yeah, so he stayed away Monday, Tuesday, came home yesterday, and he just commented how much I'm always rushing around and how much I'm always doing something. And it's never just the chill things. But saying that, then last night, I took the boys football training and I went to the gym. And that does.
Okay.
I was proper like, kids don't go training. I can't be asked. I can't be asked. And Callum was like, no, I want to go football training, Mum. And I was like, okay. And I'm so glad he did, because then being in the gym, it reminds me of how much I love it and how much I wish I went more, because that feeling when when I'm lifting weights and I'm like, I'm so strong. And I'm not anymore, but I will get back there. So I suppose that I'd like to fit that in more, but I'd like to be more balanced, because I think I'm busy a lot. My brain is firing off on different cylinders, whether it's MAB or PART. I'm doing unconscious bias stuff. It's just the kids. There doesn't seem to be a time to sort of go, stop.
Yeah.
And then that's when I watch shitty TV, and then I'm doing something else while I'm watching the shitty TV.
You never ever switch off?
Not fully, nah.
Okay, well, the first thing on my balance checklist is time. And it's not about finding time. it's about making time.
Yeah.
So, because if it's so easy to say to yourself, "Oh, I'm so busy," and you know, we live in a life, a society that makes us feel that if you're not busy, then you're not succeeding, you're not achieving, you're not doing anything if you're not busy. What the fuck are you doing if you're not busy? So you're programmed to believe and to think that you have to be busy all the time. So in order for you to feel that you have time, you have to make the time for yourself. What I have found a lot recently is that whenever I get talking about the book with people, I'm like, oh, how do you find time for this? Or how do you find time for that? How do you find time for doing these little things? And it's not about, like I said, it's not about finding the time. It's a priority for me. So I make the time. I sacrifice other things so that I can do the things that are important to me. And there's a quote that I totally love, and it's I had it on the wall. Christ, I can't remember what it is now. Do today what others won't, so you can have tomorrow what others can't.
Okay.
And so it's just, when you think of it like that, and you think, I don't want to be doing hard work all of my life. I want to work hard now so that I can live a smart life later, so that I can go into my retirement with ease and with grace and have all these things that I've hustled for now, so that they can pay me later in life, so I can have, not looking after Trevor in his decrepit years, but so we could go sail the world and travel and do all these things. Yeah. So making the time for yourself, deciding. It doesn't have to be huge chunks of time either. It's just about. It's like getting up that 5 minutes early. Don't snooze the alarm. Get up. Have a longer shower. Go to bed that little bit later, or sit. You know, when you've decided that you're going to turn off the TV, have 5 minutes and go and stand in the shower, or have some meditation, or spray some pillow spray on your bed and just enjoy the smell as you're lying there. Just stupid little things that make you feel that you're a bit more connected. It's all about mindfulness, really. It's just taking in those moments as they happen and not letting them just wash by the day.
Yeah. Do you know what? Last night, actually, I went up to bed and Sam had already gone to sleep. And the on the Amazon, so it's connected to my Amazon photos, and so it plays a little, like, slideshow. And I went to turn it off, and then it must have come on a picture that I liked. And then I did sit, honestly, for about 20 minutes, just looking at these photos. I didn't touch my phone. I just looked at pictures, and it was bringing up old pictures of the kids when they were little.
Oh, that's lovely.
Pictures of like holidays, and and I just sat and just watched them, and it was so nice to just think about. I got all a bit nostalgic and emotional for a little bit, that just looking at the people I have in my life and the things that I've done, and it did. I was proper like, this is nice. And then I was tired. But
that's a nice way to fall asleep, isn't it?
Yes, I did. I think I played on my phone for about an hour afterwards. But
unbelievable.
I'd barely been on it that day. I was like, I need to catch up on my it was Insta. I need to catch up on my Insta. But yeah, it would have been a nicer way to fall asleep than looking at shit on Instagram.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, my next one, or my next checklist, is meditation and mindfulness. So it's in those times that you've kind of siphoned away for yourself, and just doing something to slow the pace of life down. Because when you think about balance, like, balance isn't everything. Like, I was watching Nigella Lawson. I love watching her, especially at Christmas time. You don't like her?
No, she's just nuts. She's just
really?
a bit crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
I love her cooking shows. Yeah, she does say weird, very sexual things about food, and it is quite off-putting sometimes. But I love her hypnotic voice. She was talking, I can't remember what the recipe was, but that's besides the point. She was talking about it all being in balance. And it really got me thinking about, it's not just balances in your spiritual self, but it's in just your life, like your relationship. Are you balancing your relationship with your children? Do you balance your time amongst your children, however many you've got, and with your friends, and with work and life? They talk about the work-life balance. We don't think about it for ourselves.
Yeah.
And what makes us feel more balanced. Because I think a lot of the time it makes us feel selfish if we're looking at ourselves like that way. But it is more important. It's like filling your cup, isn't it? Or drinking from an empty cup. You can't drink from an empty cup. You have to keep yourself topped up and filled up. Yeah. So.
And very much that you, like you said, when you've got that downtime and thinking like you should be doing something, I think we've got this pressure on us that it feels like we should be filling every minute of the day to sort of be doing something. And actually, if ever I do have like 10 minutes I'm not doing something, then it's like, oh, I should be doing something now. Mm-hmm. It's that sort of guilt that you put on yourself. But actually, we do need that balance and that time to just sit and chill and be mindful.
Do you know, I felt like that this week as well. I've totally felt like I should totally be promoting my book. I should be thinking about my next book. I should be thinking about something else. I should be doing some housework. I should be dusting. My mum's coming down in a couple of weeks. It's going to take me a couple of weeks to get the house clean ready for her. Like I should be doing something else. But I didn't want to. I wanted to make my planters. I wanted to
look pretty.
Put wisteria up on every inch of available wall in my shed around my hot tub.
It looks really good.
It does. Though. And I've done the things that I've wanted to do, and I feel very balanced for it. Right. I feel like I've done what I wanted to do, and even the kids have said it looks lovely at here. So it's nice.
See, that's nice recognition.
Nice. So that brings me on to doing what makes your heart sing, and so that means doing the things that make you happy on the inside, and it could be phoning somebody that you haven't spoken to in ages. It could be going for a walk. It could be like you going to the gym. That makes your heart sing. That it makes you feel like your heart is smiling. Yeah, it just makes you warm on the inside. It's a lovely thing to do. But to remember the things that do make you feel that joy, because then when you're having times of dis-ease or struggle, that you can recall that feeling and you can do these little things. Yeah, and you know, all these little steps that I talk about and that I write about are just. It's not about changing the way you live your life. It's just adapting the way you live your life. Yeah. It's bringing little things into it that just make things a little bit more easier.
And that's what everyone wants, I suppose, in the end, isn't it? It's for life to be a bit more easy and happy and all of that kind of jazz.
Yeah, but I think people find it unattainable because I think to think of changing your life or changing your habits feels massive, like a massive mountain to climb, doesn't it? But
it sounds big, doesn't it?
And that's why I wanted to do the work that I do with the Mindset Mum, because it's just small little daily actions that you take that make the massive difference and make the massive impact. My next one is boundaries. So setting boundaries on the things that you want to do and what you don't want to do. So that could be with people, that could be with your family, that could be with anybody in any area of your life. Like just being a bit more protective of the things that are like being more guarded of yourself and your energy, and not just giving yourself like going out 5 nights out of 7 when you really don't want to. Yeah. You know it's going to cause aggro at home. You know you're going to miss the kids' bedtime. You know you're going to miss X, Y, and Z because you've decided to, or you couldn't say no to something. Yeah. So it's hard to do. It's really hard to say no to people or to turn things down.
I don't know. I think I'm all right at that.
Are you? You fucking cold bitch.
Do you know what it is? But I think I've learned how to prioritise what I need to do. And it is. I like to be organised. So I like to have things in my diary. I like to know what's coming, and it's planned out quite well, so that if something comes up that I can't do, then I'm a bit like, well, I can't necessarily do it, and if I can do it, then I'll do it. But I'm pretty good at sort of going, well, nah, it's too much. Okay. Nah.
How are you with setting boundaries with friends? Like, have you got some friends that kind of take more from you, or that you feel that maybe drain you a little bit, but you can't say no to spending time with them?
Not really, because I've always said I don't do needy, and I think people know that quite well of me, so they sort of know what I would accept and what I would give. So I don't think now, especially, don't get that put on me as much. And I think as we get older anyway, I think people do realise that a bit more. I think when you're a bit younger, there's a bit more pressure on you to be involved in things, whereas now everyone's busy. So it's like when you try and find a date with your mates to do something, it takes fucking 6 months because no, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't do that. And everyone's able to sort of say that and go, no, it's cool, that it's fine. It's that, so I don't...
I attract needy people.
It's because you're accommodating, although you're also quite... You can shut shit down, but you are an accommodating person. And you're
I feel guilty very quickly.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. And I find it hard to shut off from that. Although I'm very good at keeping my boundaries, I do feel guilty sometimes if I feel like I've let somebody down or if I've messed them around. Like, oh, I hate that. That'll play on my mind.
Don't bother me. No. I'm joking.
You're so fucking cold.
I am. It's easier. It's fucking heart business that people talk about, don't get it?
Here we go. That's a perfect opening to returning to love. There you go.
See?
And that is, you know, that I've talked about it and we've talked about it a lot on the podcast. And it is, it's not easy to do. It's not something that people find. And although it's a natural thing for us to do, to be very loving, love is a natural, and it's the purest energy for us to hold. But to return to love when you feel that you have a point to prove or you have something to say, it's really, really hard. I think it's one of those things. A lot of time. And
I think it's not a natural. With certain people, it's a very natural response. But it's, I suppose, when I say it's not a natural response, I'm thinking, like you said, when it's something that's, if I feel justified in my thing and someone does something that goes against that, it takes me, it really does take me a lot to sort of go, all right, we're going to let that go.
Yeah.
Because it winds me up and I just don't like it. I just think there are certain things that should happen in a certain way. And sometimes when they don't, and when it's stupidness, is what I can feel myself riling because it just winds me up. Stupidity rolls me up, and then returning to love, I'm like, I'd rather return a backhand. Yeah. But I think I've got. It really has helped. I think being my mate and talking to me with this stuff, it does help because I do hear that little voice that just going, no, it's all right. And I have tried. I'd say the last month as well, I've been loads better at just going, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Or trying to balance out what does matter and not just sort of switching at every point.
It's hard to not have to be right. It's hard to not be the one that's got the last word or to kind of prove themselves in a conversation or a discussion or an argument. Yeah. And it does take a lot of practice to get to that point.
People are stupid. Like, and I think I've said before, like with the anti-racism stuff, I have to put my professional head on because my professional and my personal heads are very, very different. I am, like, I'm very much about masks. I've got mask tattoos. I love that. Inner face and your external face. And my external face is often my professional. And I can put that on and it's cool. But there are times when I'm like, I want to put my personal face on. And that can, a lot of the time with the anti-racism stuff, when people say stuff and you're like, don't rise. It's not the time or it's not needed. And often my professional voice is better because I'll get to a resolution in a better way than I would do if I did use my
Do you still find it as fulfilling to be that professional person, or do you get more enjoyment or kind of reward by unleashing that personal?
Oh, no, no, because I think when I unleash the personal, it's often from a place of emotion, which I'm not a fan of anyway. So it is a bit like, just stop it. But, whereas with the professional, I generally get to the same resolution better.
Yeah. And using your words. And that's always satisfying, isn't it?
Using your words, not your fists. It's not right. But and it does that in like doing my trainings, and I love doing my trainings, and because it's my professional head, and I have to think about what I'm saying more. Whereas I can talk to someone that's a mate, and I might get a bit more angry, or because my emotion bit is tied into my logic. And then when that takes over, it's like, oh God, no, all right, we're going to end up in a row. Whereas if I put my professional head in, I wouldn't be like, okay, I can see it from your point of view.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
It is. But I think it's looking at what you want your end goal to be. If you want, like I know if I'm having a row with someone, if I'm bothered or not, that I want a resolution. I know if I need a resolution that I've got to handle it in a better way, but sometimes I'm like, I don't really give a shit. So I'm gonna fucking rip you a new arsehole.
What I struggle with is leaving stupidity floating around in the world like that. I need them to learn. I need them to understand and to learn so that you don't make the same fucking mistake again.
Yeah.
Or say the same stupid thing. I know.
That doesn't make sense.
I know, exactly. That's what annoys me. Is that you're gonna go out into the world and spread that nonsense.
Oh, God.
Or open your mouth and say the same thing to somebody else who might not challenge you on it. So then you're thinking, oh, who the fuck is she to say I'm wrong? This one hasn't said anything to me. I must be right.
Yeah.
You need to challenge stupidity.
You should always challenge
it is
stupidity.
very difficult to return to love.
Challenge it, yeah. And it is. But I think if you challenge, if your basis, because I suppose when I think of it in that way and thinking the returning to love isn't necessarily love for that person, it's love for the world. Yeah. So by you telling that person and challenging that person, you're making it better for the world.
That's such a roundabout way, but yeah, totally. If that helps you, then we'll go with it.
It does. It really does. It made sense in my brain.
So my final checklist is reflection. So that can be reflection through meditation, it can be reflection through journaling, it can be reflection through quiet time and thought, mindfulness, or in conversation with like a friend or whoever. And just like if something has bugged you or if something exciting has happened or something just eventful has happened in your day, reflect on it. Don't, it's connecting ourselves to the moments in time that have happened in our lives so that we don't let them wash by, so that you don't get to the end of the week and think, where the fuck is the week gone? What have I done all week? Yeah. And, you bounced your way from event to event and you don't know how you've got there because you haven't taken the time to reflect upon things or been aware of the moments in time that pass.
Do you know, someone said to me recently, and it was something I'd not ever thought about, that's a lie, but it really hit home and sort of said, so I'm a list maker. I make lists of lists. I need a list. Every day I will have a list of things I've got to do that day. And often half of the shit isn't ticked off or I've added more on the list. And they sort of said, make a list at the end of the day of everything you've done that day. Yeah. And just, like you said, reflect back on how much you've actually done. Don't look, because if you look at your to-do list and go, shit, I've hardly ticked anything off. But if you were to look it out the other way and go, this is what I've done today, more often than not, that list is going to be fucking long. Yeah. And that's going to make you feel better. And I was like, I've never done it that way round. It's just, oh shit, I've still got to do this and that. Yeah. And do this and that. Whereas instead of going, actually, I've fucking done a shitload today.
Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at it. An upside down list.
Yeah. And I was like, I haven't done it, but
do it tonight.
The fault's there.
Do it tonight.
Oh, it'd be a long list today.
Well, then that's good. You've done loads today.
Yeah. Jarring. Yeah. I have professional brain back on.
So that's like in the book that I've just written or just released. Take a leaf out of this book. Fuck's sake. Seriously.
What was it?
It's a week old. Can I not get it right?
No.
I talk a lot about these little things that you can do, just little things, and because they build confidence. I mean, you kind of challenge your confidence and you see yourself grow. It does make you feel that little bit better, and you can then go on and spread that to other people, and that's what I love about it. It's simple, and I think if we can teach our kids this stuff from a young age, so that they can help to feel more confident themselves and to improve their mental health. I think that's like one of the biggest things really is just having more awareness of themselves so that they have earlier signs of when things might be off kilter for them.
Yeah, and it is, and I think for our kids, they've got a lot more stuff that sort of works out stuff for them. Like, when I was in school, if I had a test, I'd have to go to the library and find a book on whatever shit I'm doing, whereas now they've got Google and you don't have everything so fast. No, I find that everything's quicker now, so you don't take that time as much, whereas, well, I suppose when I was younger, you had more, or I felt like I had more time to just sort of drift around doing sod all and just, whereas, I think things have changed, so it's more important than ever to sort of find those bits where you are aware of what makes you happy, you're aware of what makes you sad, so that you can try and balance that out.
Yeah.
I think it does. It really makes sense, and I think that what I have liked with your books is that it makes sense in an easy way. There's not a shitload of jargon that's making me feel like this is way too fucking difficult for me to think about. It just makes sense. It's just easy, and I can flip open the book and pick a page and go, okay, I'm going to try that today. Yeah. And that's it. I don't have to think too much. I'm not good at thinking. I've got too much else to think about. I'm like, easy.
Do you know what? Yesterday I was cycling to go and pick up Connor from preschool, and I've still got his baby seat or his toddler seat on the back of my bike. So as I go up and down curbs, it rattles like a motherfucker. It's really loud. And just as I was cycling around the corner, there was 3 teens who had finished early from school and were sitting on the wall, and they were all sitting on their phones. They were all looking down. And I came, they didn't have, well, it didn't look like they had earpods in or anything. I don't know, you can't see them nowadays. They're fucking tiny. But I came clattering around, and I looked behind me. Not one of them looked up.
Oh, really?
Not one of them. No. And I just, I smirked and I laughed to myself and shook my head, and I was like, fucking hell, I really hope that my kids are connected to the modern world, but they're also connected to themselves a bit more. Because, oh God, I'd hate that.
I think it's difficult because I know I am a phone hound. I live on my phone. Like, it is never too far from me. But I also do try to still appreciate the good old days stuff and like we're going camping in August, so we go every year, the girls and the kids, and it's one of the best things is that often we don't have electricity, so we can't charge our phones, and the kids ain't that bothered. That they might go in the car at the end of the night, and it's generally to play music, not to play on their phones. It's just to play music because they like to have a little rave up at night. But other than that, they're playing on hay bells, they're going on stupid long walks, and it's nice to just see them just sit and have. Some of the conversations are awful, but they're having a conversation. So you're like, all right, I'm going to leave you to it. And then they'll talk to us, and you're like, we don't want them to talk to us, but they do. And it's nice. It is. We look forward to it every year, and at some point they will stop coming because they're getting older, which will be fine because we'll go and get an Airbnb and stay inside. It's just the mums sleeping in a fucking tent. But it will also be quite sad. Yeah. Because it'll be sort of the end of an era of, all the kids are grown and that means we're old. Which is weird. I'm not old.
That's a bit grim.
Yeah, sorry. We'll appreciate it in a different way. We'll be in an Airbnb in Spain instead of a field in Crawley.
Yeah.
Should be nice.
But it's the summer though, and summer in England, the south of England. It is nice.
Yeah. Yes, nice. No, it is. I do love it, and it is. It's just that connecting again with my friends, connecting with the kids.
There's no Wi-Fi in the woods, but you will find a better connection.
Oh,
I know.
That was so cheesy.
I just had to do a little preview in my head before I said it.
Oh wow, that was good. That was.
But
good.
It's so true, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think it's shown because the kids still want to go. And like Charlie is 15 now. Callum hasn't been for the last couple of years. He's coming this year. So he's 16. So we've got big teenage kids coming with us, but they love it. Generally, they do wander off and God knows what they're doing, and I don't want to know, frankly, that they're in the woods. It's nothing to do with me, but they still love it. And I think that's so cute that they still want to come and do that and spend time with each other. And I think that's all you want, isn't it? That it's nice.
Connection.
Yes.
Connections.
It is. Connections are good.
They are good.
They are good.
So we want to connect with you guys, our listeners. We want you to we've got another couple of episodes before the end of the season. Yep. And we want you to give us your suggestions. What do you want us to talk about?
Yep. Come on. We need another couple to talk shit about. So let us know that, because I don't know that we've got. Have we? I don't know.
Well, I have got some suggestions from some of the listeners, but they're on topics that I'm just not. I don't want to talk shit about something that's something important.
No, and it is, and I think as much as we say talk shit, that the things we're talking about we generally do know about.
Well, this particular subject is raising awareness as well, and it's a bit more informative, and I feel I need somebody who knows what they're talking about.
That might be better for next season when we can liaise with other people that might know their shit.
Yeah, so we're going to bring in third parties and
that'll be fun. That'll
be
different.
Play around with it.
We're intrigued to see how that's going to work as well. So, like we said, put your suggestions in. But yeah, anything for the next couple of episodes would be cool. And as much as I have been on social media, I've not actually been on it properly. I've not been posting or talking shit because I can't be asked, frankly, or reading stuff. So I need to promote us some more. I've not even been on the part page in about a week.
Oh, Jesus.
I've just sort of disconnected from social media. I think it was all getting a bit much after.
Sometimes you need to take that lead and just go where it feels like you should be going.
Yeah, and I think I needed just to step back, and I still will scroll, but it's pretty mindless scrolling. I think after the George Floyd sort of verdict and things like that, I think it's sort of just...
We were to do an episode on that.
Okay, we can maybe do that
verdict
next time.
Yeah.
I don't know when the sentencing in.
That's what it was. It was the sentencing, wasn't it? Yeah, no, it was.
So we'll wait for that. But
we'll wait for that.
I think that it sometimes rocks your kilter, and you just got to let the world carry on without you for a little bit. So I think that's what I've done. I do need to go back on the part page because God knows I don't know what's on there.
Still ticking away. Chris is doing his thing.
He's a good man.
He is good.
I've left it in safe hands, which is nice. Otherwise there'd been an absolute white noise on it. Nothing. But it's all right. I'll get back on. We'll do some promoting. I want to hear from you guys. Yeah, what can we talk about?
Yeah.
What you want us to say?
Put some words in our mouth. Right, we're going to go. We love you.
See you later.
Bye.